These classic small airplanes would be a thrill to own. Ranging from nostalgic to innovative, there's a long list of incredible small aircraft out there. Many were built and designed for war while others serve commercial purposes. Regardless of the reason they were designed and built, many of the aircraft on this list are impressive in their own right. In order to witness most of these small airplanes, you would need to attend an air show. Until then, you can check some of them out here. 1942 Stinson G-77 Gullwing. Gullwing has a history of pumping out fascinating aircraft, and the 1942 Stinson G-77 Gullwing is no different. Many of the military's top brass flew the Stinson in the 50s. The very same plane you see in this image was one of 500 made for a program developed between Great Britain and the United States. The single-prop plane had a lot of action during World War II, soaring the United Kingdom air and shooting for the Allies. Beechcraft Bonanza. Introduced to the world in 1947, the Beechcraft Bonanza comes from the Beechcraft Aircraft Corporation in Wichita, Kansas. This small plane sits up to 6 and carries a single engine inside as well. The Beechcraft Bonanza still gets produced today and remains the aircraft with the longest production in airplane history. That can indicate many things, such as low production costs, or it's a great aircraft to fly the friendly skies. You've probably seen one fly over you in the past but didn't realize what it was. Cessna 170. Between 1948 to 1956, Cessna Aircraft Company manufactured the Cessna 170. It's small, but in 1948, it was certified with a gross weight of 2,200 pounds and as a normal category airplane. That's a fancy way of saying it will get you to where you need to go safely, regardless of size, as long as you abide by the weight allotments. Overall, if you owned one of these, you'd have an exciting time in the sky, and you can even customize the paint as you see in the photo. Cobalt Co-50 Valkyrie. This here is the Cobalt Co-50. It's a single-engine aircraft that can seat between 4 and 5 people. Development of the Cobalt initially took place in San Francisco, California, through Cobalt Aircraft, but they concluded the project at the location in July of 2018 and passed it over to Centauri Aircraft Company. The first flight took place in January 2015, but still, there is only one prototype. The manufacturer intends on achieving type certification eventually, but right now, they only sell it for amateur construction. Grumman G-21 Goose. World War II had this beauty on the loose, the amphibious Grumman G-21 Goose. The monoplane came out in 1937, and it represented plenty of firsts for the company that manufactured it. For starters, it was Grumman's first monoplane to take flight. Secondly, it was also the first to have twin engines. Lastly, the G-21 Goose was the first Grumman plane to go into commercial airline services. Those are all some significant accomplishments for an amphibious aircraft. Legend Cub. The American Legend Aircraft Company makes the unique Legend Club. There are two basic designs for this aircraft, and both are pretty awesome, the PA-11, and the original New Jersey 3. Probably the one thing that makes this plane so recognizable is the nose cone design that looks strikingly like nostrils. It's a single propeller engine, and the open cab gives the pilot the ability to see in almost any direction it maneuvers. Something people love most about the Legend Club is that if you look hard enough, you can find one for under $20,000. Nanchang CJ-6. The People Liberation Army Air Force used the Nanchang CJ-6, which was a Chinese aircraft. Introduced in 1960, this plane has 8 different models: the CJ-6B, BT-6, PT-6A, HN-A, CJ-6, CJ-6A, HN-B, and HN-C. As a maiden production aircraft, it's integrated with a Zhuzhou Huosai HS-6 radial piston engine, equipped with 260 HP. There's a reason why the Liberation Army took these aircraft out for a spin. Can you imagine owning one? North American T-6 Texan. The North American T6 Texan was crucial in WW2 but ended up retiring in 1995. It may not be in production anymore, but that doesn't erase the past it has attached to it. Many designations use the Texan, depending on which model and Air Force. Several nations utilized the capabilities of the Texan in their Air Force, which makes this plane an important part of history. Owning a vintage one would be a nice addition.